frequently asked question I get all the time, both in our social media channels, online, even in person. A lot of my patients are always asking me, so what do you do for your face, Dr. J? You don't need any of this. You have dark skin, right? And the answer is absolutely not. I have to do all of it. So I do Botox, certainly. This is probably the first procedure I ever had to do myself. I had started seeing lines here in my early 30s. And first I tried some retinol creams and Retin-A, and they helped a little bit. But then the first time I did Botox up here, it was amazing. Completely took them away. So this has always been probably my big problem area. I always liked doing a little bit of a brow lift. That was fashionable to have a more arched brow, probably in the 90s and early aughts than it is now. But I've always done that. I've done a little bit of a brow arch. I lately have started in the last 10 years needing to do a little bit on my frown area, more because it picks up this entire area and makes it look lifted than even that I have frown lines. I'm not a big frowner, and so I don't have frown lines, but doing the frown area has definitely picked up my central face a lot. Maybe I'll do a little bit on the sides of my crow's feet. My lines are very close to the sides of my eyes, and they're more related to me having skin laxity on my eyelids, which brings me to the other topic. I actually do a lot more laser than I've ever done Botox or filler. And so I love to do the Viora skin tightening radiofrequency device on my eyelid area. It has really helped with the laxity on the sides there and prevented me from ever getting crow's feet and needing Botox there. It helps tighten my eyelids. If you ever notice your eyeshadow kind of bunching up, or you don't have as much space to do your eyeshadow, the Viora is wonderful for taking care of that. The other thing I get is jowls, which are little pockets of fat or excess skin, or even what we call the pleating, the accordion cheek down here. Viora is wonderful for that. I also have invented a little trick where I do a little cortisone injection, just like shooting a pimple, and that can flatten the jowl as well. My corners of my mouth are an area that have been a problem for me. They always are droopy. So I always do a little bit of Botox here to lift the corners of my mouth. And I'd say most recently, which has been a little bit sad and disturbing, is in the last year or two, I've noticed I'm starting to get a little bit of lines on my lip. So I do a tiny bit of Botox up there, and it's nice because it actually gives me what they call in Instagram the lip flip also. It turns the upper lip outward a little bit. And as you get older, that starts caving in. And I've noticed that that's happened to me too. And that's one of the most recent places I've done a little bit of filler on myself. So I do a little Botox on the upper lip for the lines, it does the lip flip, and then I'll do maybe 2 drops of filler on the upper lip as well to turn it outward. Other than that, when I was younger, I was pretty hollow under my eyes. A lot of Indian people of Indian descent are, and that causes under eye circles, and that's probably the first sign of aging that most of us have. I used to get filler maybe once every 2 to 3 years in that under eye area, but it's funny, as you get older, you don't need that as much because the fat pad starts protruding forward for other anatomical reasons, gravity and other things that are not fun. And essentially, I haven't needed filler there in a long time. So I have a full face. I have to be very careful in the filler that I do. I don't like to do too much because I don't want to have more filler to drag me down, especially in the future. So I might do a drop or 2 of filler. I've done it, in my 40s in the past. Maybe here to lift this part of my cheek up, and maybe over here to lift this part of my cheek up. And I've done that maybe once or twice. I don't think I need it anymore. What I need more is the Ulthera laser, which basically tightens the collagen at the base of where my fat and my skin sort of meet with the muscle. And then that tightens collagen and lifts the entire cheek and everything up. And that's what I swear by for my neck as well. And then my neck is probably a bigger problem area than my face. It's always been. I've always had sort of this ski slope, rather than a complete right angle, which is what I would like. So the Ulthera helps with that. I also inject a little Dysport into what we call the turkey waddle and the jawline, and all of that will make me look more sort of streamlined and skinnier, and that's always good too. I always have actually been a big fan of my body contouring lasers. The Viora does amazing for wavy cellulite, which is really skin laxity on the thighs and the buttocks and all of that. And then I love doing fat removing lasers, and I've had a couple of them. I've had the Vanquish ME, and the newest one is the Viora V10. The Viora V10 heats up this fat layer to about 40 degrees Celsius. It's just a 10-minute treatment, and it's amazing. I mean, it does things for me that dieting and working out have never been able to do. So that's pretty much the stuff I do. It's a lot. There's nobody who can say, oh, Dr. J, you don't need anything. I kind of need it all. So that's that. Thank you.